Do you remember the first leaks of Street Fighter 6 back in March of 2022? Well, I just remembered and had to look at it again with interest. Now, I'm not saying that this leak is true by any means. I am just stating that looking deeper, there could be a few things that do make sense. Let me explain and let's get into it. Now, the first thing you seen was it including the game having a release date listed for summer 2022, which is a dead sign it couldn't have been true. Then I look at the release date now, and it's scheduled for summer, June of 2023. That makes me think that things must have got pushed back like a lot of things. What made me believe it at first was the cover art, but then I thought Ryu wouldn't look like that. Then, I remember the trailer from February that had that art, so I was like, nah, not true, but maybe it might have some truth. Just maybe. Strangely, other than the Street Fighter 6 teaser, there are no other video game trailers on the website Gafobo Screenings, which sells movie tickets and trailers. I went to the trailer website and checked it out for myself, and Gafobo didn't have any of that extra information published there back then. Although the Gafobo email seems to be authentic, it is still unclear why Street Fighter 6 is included. The narrative was one more significant factor that made me question reality. As for the plot, I think it will center around the Secret Society, or an organization that has been a part of the Secret Society since the early Street Fighter title, but the only pertinent information we were unaware of is that Street Fighter 6 takes place 16 years after the events of Street Fighter 3. They made it too great of a jump in Street Fighter 3, and I seriously doubt they'll set up any future games to achieve what Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 did, being prequel sequels. Rose's time travel antics in Street Fighter V may be set up by this, but traveling back in time in this manner wouldn't be appropriate for the series. Due to Li Fun, who I believe will be included in the game's final roster, I believe Street Fighter 6 would be set 4 to 6 years after Street Fighter 3. According to the supposed leak, Ryu, Ken, Alex, Sean, Chun-Li, Sakura, Rashid, Laura, Akuma, Yang, Yun, El Fuerte, Abel, Guy, Cody, Adon, and Menat are among the 17 characters who are returning combatants from SF6. It omitted him, but I understand that it was a last-minute choice and that this might have been done before he decided to participate in Street Fighter V. Right now, Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li, of course, as well as Rashid and Akuma, are the ones that have been verified. It's hardly surprising that all of those characters, who were popular in both design and playability, made it. El Fuerte and Adon were now the intriguing ones. At least in the initial roster, I didn't see any need for them to really return. El Fuerte has some ties with Hager, as his trainer was someone who trained one of his competitors, El Stingray from Slam Masters, but that is a stretch. Adon just doesn't fit into the story or roster when Sagat could be added to the story better. Looking at the new cast, Yang and Yun appear to be dismissed due to Jamie's participation and their role in his backstory. Abel because Manon is a feminine representation of him. Guy, who is replaced by Kimberly, a Bushinryu practitioner. Ziku's appearance in Street Fighter V gives the impression that the lore is being expanded, and it would be ideal to do so by introducing the Strider universe. Now, Cody's return would make sense, but I think his younger brother Kyle, who would be the ideal age to succeed Cody as Metro City's hero, might take his place. Now the characters that are still present are the ones that make sense. The former major character, Alex, must come back. Sean, who has to continue improving after winning a tournament in Laura's Street Fighter 3 and moving on to Street Fighter 5, must do so. She is pleased to see him using their family style, which may indicate that he will combine Ansatsuken and Matsuda skills. Sakura, who has a longer backstory and can rival Ryu in talent, is the favorite character of the fans. Laura, who wants to follow her brother's development and promote the Matsuda way. Last but not least, Mint, since she was someone who could play the part of the game's fortune teller and predict future events in the narrative. As a whole, this leak just looked bad, and I understood why it wasn't taken seriously and why the official leak that came out pushed this one into non-existence. But, like I have stated before, all things Street Fighter is what I look for and do my best to explain.